Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host El Young, and we are here with Alex. Welcome, Alex.
Hi, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no worries. So, could you introduce yourself and what you do?
Yes, I'm Alex Meister. I've been a guitar player since the late '80s, and I've been in a lot of bands. But all the time I was playing hard rock music, like '80s hard rock music, and I'm very passionate for all this kind of music since I was young, and I'm still doing the same sound and now I'm doing my second solo album that will be the sixth one in my career.
Yeah. Let's dive into some questions.
Mm.
As a kid, what were you listening to?
Yes, I started listening to bands like Bon Jovi, Iron Maiden, Queensryche, and then I found a lot of bands like Doc and Rats and all this stuff. And I'm still listening to this kind of bands until nowadays.
Cool. Who basically got you into music?
Yes. My old brother. He's 3 years older than me, so he used to listen to music with his friends that lives in the old building that we live together. And so they introduced me to music when I was just 10, and I started listening to rock and roll, heavy metal music, and never stopped. I'm very thankful for these guys to show me what is heavy metal and rock and roll, and when I was so young.
Yeah. I think that goes for like a lot of people who it's like their older brothers or
Ye-
sisters or parents or who
Yes,
uh, who get an influence on on
a
you.
good influence. A
Typically.
good influence.
Yeah,
I think if I didn't have this older brother, I will lose about 4 years to start listening to music. I want to start listening when I was 10, but I think when I was 14 or 15. So I will lose five golden years on the '80s. So we started listening in 1986, 1987. So we started listening only in 1991. Oh,
yeah,
it was a
yeah,
pity.
yeah. Who inspired you to become a musician?
A lot of bands, a lot of guitar players. But the first one I saw in a movie was Steve Vai on the movie Eugene Streakback, and I saw at the end of the movie that guitar duel that he does with the Half Macchio, the actor. So I saw Steve Vai doing all this kind of stuff, and I saw it, and I thought at the same time, I need to do the same. I want to be the same. So, yeah, uh, but after this, I listened to like guys such as George Lynch, Rap Beach, Warren DeMartini, Jake Lee, Chris Oliva, Brad Gillis, a lot of guys. I think all the guys from the '80s generation after Eddie Van Halen and all the stuff to Steve Vai, Nuno Bittencourt, all these guys.
Yeah,
And
cool. So
instead of not only talking about guitar players, but a lot of bands also, such as I said before, as Dokken or Red, but Def Leppard, Whitesnake, Scorpions, Queensryche, Sabotage, a lot of bands.
cool, cool. What were you in any bands before you started to do your solo career?
Yes, yes, yes. I started playing in bands in the early 90s. So I played in a metal band the first years of the 90s. And the second part of the 90s, I played with one power metal band named Totten, and I played live with this band in Europe, and already I, I was about to record an album with these guys, but I left the band before it happens. After that, I created my own band named Pleasure Maker. With this band, I released three albums in the year 2000. In 2004 and 2080, and the last one in 2018. And in 2020, I did my project with Marina Meister, and I released this album in 2020. It was very, very great, this album. And now I'm doing my second solo album. My first solo album, I released it in 2011, but it was only an instrumental album. I wasn't singing at this album at this time. Now this at this time I started singing, being a lead singer. I never did it before. I always been a guitar player and do the backing vocals, but not singing.
Yeah, yeah. One of my subscribers has said, let me see. He says, I like, this is from Sebastian, and he says, I like your guitar, yeah, and your guitar riffs, Alex.
Thank you so much, thank you so much.
So, um, over this last year or so, what have you been up to?
Bem, I've been producing my new album, so I'm now at the studio recording guitars, vocals, and creating a new song for this album. And I'm re-recording songs that I wrote to my old band Pleasure Maker. But now I'm doing it's like I'm recreating the arrangements because some of these albums I've released 20 years before, or more than that. So I think that now I could do it a better production for these songs. I like very much the songs that I did in the past, but I wasn't able to do the same that I can do now. I'm able to do much a much better production and much better arrangements because a lot of music, a lot of songs that I'm recording in this new solo album, they are from my first record, and some songs from this album I wrote in the 90s, for example. Just thinking about it, I wrote in 1996, for example. But at this time, I wasn't able to do the same that I'm doing now. I have a different vision to do all the compositions and solo riffs and all the stuff.
Cool,
Uh,
cool. Yeah, so, um, what is the title of this new album that you're going to be putting out, and when roughly are you going to? What's the release date for it?
we plan to release this summer of this
Yeah,
year, 2022. But I doesn't created the name for this album yet. I'm still thinking about the name. I thought about in one name, but I didn't decide it yet.
yeah,
I will think in a month or two. I will be with this title of the album. I think so. I won't be late more than I'm doing now. I used to start creating an album with a name, with a title name. When I, for example, I've released Dance with Danger. with Pleasure Maker. This name, I thought this name before release the album. Sorry, before produce the album. I was starting writing the songs, but I thought, no, this album will be named Dance with Danger. And for example, Marina Meister, Out of Reach. Out of Reach, I thought, my new album will be named Out of Reach. But this time I didn't have the idea at first. So I'm producing the albums. I think I had time to think a little bit more. So when I decide this, I have to choose one name for this album. I think I can't just choose any name. I have to think about it. That it must be a name that represents all the entire work. A lot of songs, and I didn't. I want to use a song title, for example. In the other records, I use song titles for example. But I won't do it now. So it makes a little bit more difficult to choose one name for it. But sometime I will find it.
Yeah. Sebastian says he's looking forward to the new album.
Ah, that's great. That's
So
great. That's great.
roughly, so it'll be released sometime later on in the year, like around about summertime.
Yes, yes. We released by the RFL Records. I'm from the United States, and
Yeah.
but we didn't really choose the exact date because I didn't finish yet the production. So I cannot we can't find a exactly date for it, but it will be defined in 2 or 3 months. And it will be decided for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it will be I think or about July to September or
Cool.
something like that.
Cool. Cool. After you've finished with this new album and it's been released,
Mhm.
is there any new plans on doing another one with like older
Yeah.
older material?
You are talking. You were asking if I will. So if I'm planning to release another album after this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. I'm planning to do a second Marina Meister album. Me and Rod, we've decided this after we released the album at the end of the 2020. So we decided first to release our solo albums. Then we start writing new songs for this album. I think this would be released in 2024. I think. Only we'll start writing songs for this album in 2023.
Cool. Cool. When you release this album now, like what's coming out this year, are you doing any tours in support of the album?
I don't know yet. I want to do it, but because of the COVID, uh, we have a lot of problems to do gigs now, live gigs now. So a lot of venues has closed here, for example. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do after the release. So I'm thinking about to release first, then start booking dates for it. But I want to do it for sure. As I want to do the same to Marina Meister because we released the album and we didn't any the live gig for the same reason.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think one thing that I could do, for example, is to do a show with the both bands at the same time, like Marina Meister and playing some solo stuff. at the same. I think I'm still thinking about it. I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
It's not so simple at this time, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. So, if you do decide to do a tour, would you come over to Europe or go over up to the US here, or to Canada, or down to South Africa, or over to
Uh,
Australia?
I have played on Europe in the year 2000, for example. But all these countries, all these places, I would love to play. North America, Europe, South Africa, a lot of awesome places to play and go just to go so to travel to just to know these new places or to play. I just needed the contract to go there, but first of it we need to do all this problem with COVID finished, and we can so we can go back to our normal lives and do all the same that we did before it happens.
Yeah, yeah. So, where can people find you on social media so they can actually check out to keep up to date with all the releases and any possible tours? I got Facebook pages.
Yes, everyone can find me on Instagram. I'm at Alex Meister official. I have my official website www.alexmeister.com. All my albums from Marina Meister, solo stuff, and Pleasure Maker are all digital platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, on YouTube. All music videos I did are available on YouTube, on my channel, Alex Meister, as well in Pleasure Maker and Marina Meister channels. So it's very simple to find all the stuff I did to nowadays.
Cool, cool. One final question.
Yes.
Any advice for people who want to become a musician?
Mm, let's go. The first of all, it's passion. Then you have to study a lot. Study a lot, and then and finally, when you start playing, writing music, or you have to be always very how can I say it? Uh, Try to write always what you really feel. Don't try to write something that it's not your truth. Always write songs that really feel that it's your truth. Uh, it's all my advices for people that I that wants to start playing and to be a musician and get into a band. So always think about this three things: passion, study, and always be truth with yourself when you start writing something.
Yeah, cool, cool. Uh, thank you so much for coming on, Alex. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been much appreciated. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for inviting me once again. For me,
So
for a great pleasure for me to be with you, talking to you and to your audience also.
thank you. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. So, like I said, thank you so much, and I think that's so. Check Alex out on his
Yes.
website and on all the streaming platforms, whether it be Apple Music or Spotify or whichever streaming service you like. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.